Other kids sometimes they call me names that they make me feel bad. They call me like I'm fat.
Hurtful. I don't think it's right. I think it can hurt a lot of people, whether you're an adult, whether you're a teen, or whether you're just a child.
Really hard to go to school and be picked on.
Verbal bullying is the most prominent form of bullying in today's schools, and because of the lack of knowledge and awareness, it still continues. Due to its fatal consequences, verbal bullying needs to be stopped.
I've never ever believed in that saying. I was always told that when I was little, but I've never.
No, I don't. Because I believe that whatever you say to people is going to hurt them regardless.
I don't agree with that saying because I feel like words are just as harmful as someone like physically touching you, you know. To me, when someone speaks negative about someone, especially to your face, it goes straight to your mind. So to me, it's like damaging the way you think and how you feel about yourself. It can lower like your self-esteem. So I don't agree with
Verbal bullying is speaking to anyone in a way that might cause hurt feelings, anger, sadness.
I think verbal bullying is where you intimidate, belittle, or use words intentionally to hurt someone.
Verbal bullying is basically when you're speaking out to somebody and try to hurt them by what you say and what you do.
Verbal bullying is like when you're calling someone names, like when you're saying like, well, you're ugly or you're like this, you're that, like.
I want to say physical. But I think verbal bullying has a longer lasting effect. I think hitting someone is bad, and I think there should always be immediate consequence for that, because hitting someone can relate to someone else hitting back. So there could be a fight, outbreak, something like that. But verbal abuse can stay with that person forever. And they can never. I remember stuff that kids picked on me about from middle school, but I can't feel the time that I was pushed in line one time. You know what I mean? So I definitely think physical's worse, but I think that verbal has a worse effect and a longer lasting effect.
Verbal bullying is worse because you don't heal from that the same way that you do from physical abuse. Scars heal and they go away, but when it's mental, it's internalized and it's different.
Psychological injuries, verbal abuse, mental emotional abuse can have a much more devastating effect on someone than physical abuse. I mean, you can get hit, you get a fat lip. That's not okay to put your hands on somebody else in anger, but that heals and you get over it.
A tongue has no bones, but it's already strong enough to break a heart. From hurt feelings to suicide, verbal bullying has many different effects.
Because you can see the looks on their faces. You can see how they interact with other students. So that would be the physical part, even though there's not bruises or anything. And other ways you can tell is just by students kind of shutting down.
Sometimes there are students who tend to do things to hurt themselves because they've been bullied, whether it's, anxiety conditions, whether sometimes people pull their hair out, sometimes people cut themselves, and they turn the pain inward. So you never know at what point a person's going to do that, but you can definitely see physical effects of that. The stress of bullying sometimes can be seen physically, whether it's a person just looks like they're under stress, unkempt conditions, all of those things can be physical signs of bullying.
Neuroscientist Martin Tyker published a study early 2010 of verbal bullying. In the study, he concluded that persistent verbal bullying was linked to high rates of depression and anxiety, and those who are belittled were more vulnerable to drug abuse. Also in his study, he mentions that short-term verbal bullying is linked to poor performance in school, and long-term verbal bullying is linked to post-traumatic stress disorder. In a study conducted by Yale University, bully victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to commit suicide than non-bullied victims.
Make another tragic mark. A 13-year-old girl took her own life.
A mother found her 10-year-old daughter who had committed suicide, all because she was being bullied.
Well, she jumped in front of a train because she was bullied.
A Britain study found that half of the suicides in young people are due to bullying. Next are the videos of 2 students who have been victims of verbal bullying. This commercial is brought to you by CCA.
Oh, there she is. She is such a loser.
I know.
What a geek. Get lost.
Words hurt. Don't be a part of it.
Samuel Walton is 11 years old and is in the 4th grade in elementary.
Yes. He been calling me like bad words and everything, and telling me to shut up, and he said if I don't like do that, then he was gonna beat me up or hurt me. It makes me feel sad, and it makes me not want to ride like the bus no more, or like not really go to school because he might might get people on me, so they might jump me and everything, so it make me feel scared to go to school, and made me feel scared to go to school because they might jump me, and the teachers probably won't know that they're jumping me, so I feel scared to go to school. And talk to him, I would tell him to leave me alone.
Kanika Blakeney is 18 years old and is a junior in high school. Due to her past experience in verbal bullying in elementary, middle, and high school, she is quiet, shy, and contempt.
Yes, I have. Her name Denise had called me ugly. She yelled at me. She also threw paper at me. She was mocking me and was talking to Officer Jesus. Angry. And sometimes sad. It hurt. I was a nice person. I never did nothing wrong to her. I never said nothing bad about her. And I was a nice, quiet person. I was nice to everybody. And that was mean and disrespectful and rude to say.
What do you think?
Because, I don't know. I don't know. Well, because I've been through some things back in my middle school years that.
Some people, when they're bullied, are in a completely unhappy environment, and regardless of what is supposed to happen in that environment, they don't want to be in that environment.
Some people tend to be disillusioned when they see that there's bullying going on. Something that they may not believe is going on is something that they may not want to put any effort to correct.
Because they're afraid of the repercussion that they may receive afterwards, or they feel that they will be criticized even more, or they don't feel that it will stop if they told. And then a lot of teenagers are into the
Most
message.
verbal bullying goes unreported due to fear of retaliation.
Because they're bored and it's fun, they make themselves feel better by doing it.
So, do you verbal bully? Pretty much. What kind of things do you say? I tell people if I don't like them. Why do you do it? Because it's spontaneous.
There's something in them, whether it's low self-esteem, there's something that they're missing, that they feel like they have to put someone else down in order to make themselves feel good.
What could be done is definitely more lessons about bullying. Even schools could have more like presentations, or like when we go to have assemblies about bullying, because my students a lot of times have never heard that word, so teaching them can be hard, and getting them to realize how bad it really is, especially at 5 years old.
In following the footsteps of Massachusetts, there needs to be bullying education class where we educate students and faculty members on the effects, causes, and how to fight bullying. Like the saying, education is the key to success, education is also the key to putting an end to verbal bullying. Verbal bullying in schools has become a grave epidemic that needs to be stopped.
Because that's what I did, and it just builds up, and then you just explode and go crazy. But just tell somebody, even though you might think that it's stupid and it's not something that's important, it's just that, or you might not think that you're not important enough that somebody will care, but everyone cares, and everyone's important, so.